Hello everyone. Today I am going to give you a brief information regarding ICAR PG entrance exam for getting admission in the master degree programs in the subject Social Sciences. In this session, we will going to deal with what are the syllabus that you need to be covered for completing the Social Sciences, and what are the reference books you need to study regarding Social Science, then how to approach the exam, and what are the question type patterns, and what are the various specialization in the master degree programs, and etc. Coming for the subjects, what are the subjects or area of specializations that are available in the master degree program under the subject Social Sciences? Coming for the first subject, agricultural economics, then dairy economics, then agricultural extension or extension education or communication, then dairy extension education. These are the four area of specializations you can opt in the master degree program once you clear this ICAR exam in subject Social Sciences. Then the time duration for this ICAR exam is 2 hours. Then there will be a total number of 120 questions are available, and each question you will have about 1 minute time, so that you should be very quick enough to solve each and every questions. Then each correct answers, it carries 4 marks. Once if you correct the answer, then if it is correct, each questions it will carry 4 marks. Then each wrong answers, there will be deduction of 1 marks from that correct answers. Then coming for the total marks, how many marks there will be exam? 120 questions will be there. Then each questions will carry 4 marks, means there will be total of 480 marks for this exam. Then what are the question types you are gonna expect in this exam? First one, it may be assertion reasoning. They will give one statement and what are the reason behind that statement, and they will ask you to give your opinion regarding assertion is wrong. They will give some options. Assertion and reason both are right, both are wrong, one is right, one is wrong, like that. You need to study both the statements carefully, then only you need to attend the questions. Then identify the correct and incorrect statements. They will give you around 4 or 5 statements, then out of which you have to identify the correct statements or incorrect statements. And in options they will give only A is correct, both option A and B are correct, option A, B, C are correct, like that. You have to study each statements carefully so that you should answer correctly. Then coming for the match the following. In the match the following, you can expect the various scientist names or year of establishment or various extension programs, etc. And in right column, you will expect the answers for what are the area, various years or scientist name, etc. Then in ascending and descending order means like a chronological order. They will give year of establishment of institution. Suppose one institution established in 1970 and 1980, and they will ask you to arrange according to the ascending order or descending order. Then there will be some direct questions. Then these are the 2 subjects that you need to mainly focus for covering the social science subject, that is agricultural economics and agricultural extension. Now we will focus on agricultural extension. What are the subjects what are the syllabus that we need to cover in this agricultural extension, and what are the reference books that we need to study. Coming for the syllabus, extension education, concept, meaning, principles, philosophy, scope and importance. This is the first chapter. It's a basics to the extension education or agricultural extension. What is its meaning, what are the principles behind extension education, etc. Then second chapter, extension program planning and evaluation. Then here what are the steps in the program planning, what are the evaluation steps, and what are the principles of program planning. Then models of organizing agricultural extension. What are the various models for organizing the extension? Then historical development of extension in USA, Japan and India. Like what are the history behind the extension, how it came into existence in USA, Japan and especially in India, and how it struggled when the first extension word was used, or when the first degree of extension was used in various degree programs was established in the university, etc. Regarding the history of extension. Then extension teaching methods. Then rural development, its meaning and importance, which covering the various aspects of rural sociology. Then what are the rural development programs in India before the independence and up to the recent ones? Then what are the concept of sociology, rural development, and what are the concept of sociology? Then what are the social groups or social organizations? Then urban and rural communities, what are the differences? What is urban and rural community, etc. Then rural leadership, education psychology, learning and teaching, what is the relationship between learning and teaching, and what are the things that requires for effective learning and effective teaching, etc. that we'll cover in education psychology. Then what are the role of personality in agricultural extension in Indian rural system and its various characteristics. Then what are the value system, caste and class, what are the difference between caste, class, then structure, customs, tradition. These are the some of the concepts which will comes under psychology. Then rural group organization, then adult education. Then coming for the next chapter, communication principles and its concepts. Then what are the process of communication, what are the elements that's involved in the communication, and what are the barriers for the teaching methods. It's one of the important chapter, communication. What are the different kinds of communication methods are there, then different types of communication medias available, then audio visual materials or what are the audio visual aids available, media mix, media campaign, cyber extension, internet, cyber cafe, Kisan call center, teleconferencing. These are some of the communication tools which will be used. We have to study individually and each and every concept behind it. Then agricultural journalism, diffusion and adoption of innovation, what are the adopter categories are there. Then capacity building of extension personnel and farmers, training to farmers, women and rural youth. These are the concepts which we are going to cover. Coming for the reference books. What are the reference books that we need to refer for covering the syllabus? Each and every chapter is having a separate specialization book. What are the books that we need to study mainly for covering the syllabus? Coming for the first book, the most basic book and most important book, Extension Communication and Management by G.L. Ray. It covers all the aspects of extension. It's the basic book that's compulsory you need to study for preparing any exams or JRF or SRF or any exams regarding extension. It's the most basic book. It covers all the aspects. Then Fundamentals of Agricultural Extension Education by Sagar Mundal. Like these both books are almost similar, but Extension Communication and Management by G.L. Ray is mostly referred. You can refer Sagar Mundal also in case of the absence of G.L. Ray. Then coming for the next book, Textbook on Rural Development and Entrepreneurship Communication Skills by Sagar Mundal and G.L. Ray. Like this book covers all the various schemes that existed regarding Integrated Rural Development Program, IADP, IVLP, various programs, all the programs right from pre-independence to current. It covers all the schemes, and regarding what are the communication skills and regarding the entrepreneurship concept, this book covers everything regarding the schemes, what are the various schemes regarding rural development or anything, then entrepreneurship and communication skills. Extension Program Planning by A.S. Sandhu. It's one of the basic book that you need to refer. It's very short book and consists of very few pages. You need to study it compulsorily for covering the extension program planning. That's chapter. Then if you want to cover the subject rural sociology, you need to study Introductory to Rural Sociology by J.B. Chitambar. For covering the psychological aspect, psychology concepts, Introduction to Psychology by Clifford T. Morgan should be referred. Then regarding the communication aspect, there are two books. One is A.S. Sandhu and one more is Journalism. Regarding communication, A.S. Sandhu, textbook on agricultural communication. It's must and you should read regarding communication. It covers all the aspects of communication, right from what are the various models, teaching aids and everything. What it covers each and every concept regarding communication. Then regarding journalism, Farm Journalism and Communication Skills by G.L. Ray and Sagar Mandal. These both books are compulsory regarding communication and journalism. It's a small book. It covers around 100 pages, that too very short size also. It's must and you should read these two books for covering the communication aspects and journalism. Then coming for the next book, Diffusion of Innovation. It's the Bible for adoption and diffusion chapter. It's must and it should be read for adoption and diffusion by Everett M. Rogers, author. Coming to the Dimensions of Agricultural Extension by A.K. Singh, Lakhan Singh, or Roy Burman. Like it's one of the important books in modern days for covering all the aspects of extension in a very precise and concise manner. What are the important things are there? Like basic and important things, it's covered very perfectly in this Dimension of Agricultural Extension book. Then Handbook of Agricultural Extension. This book is released by ICAR IRI, Indian Agricultural Research Institute. It covers all the aspects of agricultural extension. The one who wants to study any exam for ICR, it's like a Bible for agricultural extension. Regarding it may be JRF or SRF, or it may be for ARS, Agriculture Research Scientist, or Subject Matter Specialist. This book is usually referred as a Bible for agricultural extension. Like it's around 1,000 pages, almost 1,000 pages book, but you should keep this just for a reference for any concepts. Then coming for the next book, Instant Extension Education by Shruti. Then one more, a brief book on extension education by Shruti and Madan Singh. These are the one-liner book. Like the information given in this book are in a single line. You can study if you have studied Nemaraj Sunda book. Like similarly, the concept is in a one line. Everything which will be given in the one line. This Instant Extension Education book, it's also similar to this. Like if you are having any shortage of time to cover or revise, then you go for this book. It's compulsory. These two should be studied perfectly. It's compulsory. You need to study for ICR exam. Comprehensive and Competitive Extension by Raghavendra Chaudhary. It's an updated version of Shruti book, Instant Extension Education. It's a recent one and it covers extra concepts which are not covered in Shruti. If you can't able to study both the Shruti, then is Comprehensive and Competitive Extension. One book, it's enough. Then an Introduction to Agriculture Social Science. Those who want to take social science as their subject in ICAR PG exam, this book is compulsory because it covers agriculture economics, then regarding extension part and some part of statistics. Statistics, so many of them they will neglect in this subject social sciences, but they will ask 1 or 2 questions or 5 questions depending on that year who is gonna set the paper. Like statistics, if you want to cover the thing, you have to study from this Introduction to Agriculture Social Science by Subhash Chandra. It's a compulsory book you need to study for social science. It covers economics, extension and statistics. Then for the MCQ part, after studying all this, while you go for the solving of any multiple choice question, these are the two books you need to study. One is MCQ by Sunil Viji. Then one more thing, Question Bank by Asif Mohammed. These are the two books you need to study for solving any MCQs. But regarding in Sunil Viji, in addition to MCQs, they given some mind maps and logical test. In mind maps, you can remember what are the various steps, or how to remember the long steps or anything in very short ways. They given some shortcuts how to remember, how to map that all the things in the mind, what are the various process, etc. And one more disadvantage, like one more thing you need to note in this Sunil Viji is some answers, very few answers, they are given wrong. Don't go for blindly, just you understand the concept and you try to solve the MCQ questions. Then after seeing these many books, don't get worried these many books I need to study. How can I study only to cover extension? Then economics are also there, then I have to study 20 or 30 books. Don't worry. These are the books what I mentioned now earlier. These are the books that will cover each and every chapters of extension. Like for every chapter there is a specialized books are there for each and every chapter. As I said earlier, each chapter have separate books. But now I will tell you what are the books that you need to study compulsorily. You should not leave the subject. What are the compulsory books? First one, Extension Communication and Management. Then Extension Program Planning. Then Textbook on Agricultural Communication Process and Methods by Sandhu. Then Journalism. Then Instant Extension Education Shruti. Then a brief book on extension education by Shruti Madan Singh. Then if you can't study these two, then you have to study compulsorily this Comprehensive and Competitive Extension. It's also a one-liner book, Comprehensive and Competitive Extension. It's a very nice book. Then Dimension of Agricultural Extension. These are the books compulsorily you need to study. For MCQ, as I said earlier, MCQ by Sunil Viji and Asif Mohammed Pannuswamy. It is a book that you need to refer for MCQ. Then finally, An Introduction to Agriculture Social Science by Subhash Chandra. It is a book that it's compulsory you need to study for those who are appearing for the social science. Now I discussed reference books in the two parts. One is what are the books that will cover each and every chapter. Each and every chapter will covered by separate books. Then if you have time, you study according to that. Each and every chapter covering each and every book by separate books. If you have shortage of time or less time, what are the books I mentioned as compulsory, you go for that books. After you studied and completed agriculture economics part, then later on agricultural extension part, then what are the extra things you need to study? Then basic statistics. You should know about the basic statistics. For that you need to refer An Introduction to Social Science by Subhash Chandra. They may not ask in that year, or if they ask, they may ask up to 4 questions or 5 questions depending on the paper setter. So statistics is an important part. Some people they will neglect this statistics part. You should not neglect. Then general agriculture. General agriculture they may ask how many questions depending on that year. They may ask up to 10 questions, sometimes up to 20 questions, and depend on the general agriculture. For the general agriculture, you need to study Nevraj Sunda, then Arun Khatyan, volume 1 and 2. Then after this, you need to study previous year questions. of last 2 years, 3 years, or up to 5 years, just for reference, like how the question paper patterns are there. Thank you.